What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another guide video. If you saw my last video I put out before taking it down about Dominion, it launched successfully with around 80 people joining the server on launch, but it unfortunately was closed down due to doxing of the admins and DDoSing the server. But we don't need to get into that. Anyways, I still wanted to release some guides for you guys to show you how to play this game at your max potential. Today we're going to be talking about dungeons. When Notorious joins a fresh server on Wipe, what I'll usually do is give everybody assignments in my clan. And what I'm showing here is basically the last time that the gang really all got together and really try-harded a server. My job was always to complete Ranger, and while everyone else is still running around in their struggle gear, we're in medikits 2 hours into the server. Now, even if you aren't using these methods, I'm going to show you how on servers you're still able to get the Ranger journey done as efficient as possible. I was able to complete this one here in less than an hour. I wanted to take a minute to give my condolences to Wiccan's family as I received the unfortunate news that he has recently passed away. I spent lots of time in Discord just shooting the shit with him, especially back when I was newer to the game. He was a funny guy with a big heart and would make jokes like how he's fluent in many languages, including English, Java, and Python. Wiccan was most known for his outlandish buildings, and he had eye-catching map rooms. He built the type of map rooms that you wouldn't even have to run up and see who owns it. You can just tell it was a Wiccan map room. He had this very particular way of incorporating the obelisk pillars on the map room with the building structures, which is pretty cool. Stuff that would just make people stop and take an extra minute and check it out, you know. I was a bit shocked hearing this news, and it makes you really take a second and realize that we're all really here just playing a video game, trying to escape reality, and don't take things so seriously. Wiccan's family, for what it's worth, you have my deepest condolences. Rest in paradise, buddy. There's a few things that I'm going to go over that are kind of the meat and potatoes to getting all this done in an efficient manner. We'll start with having a map room at our base. It's very important to have that, plus majority of the obelisks learned. Teleporting across the map like that is one of the things that make Exile Land so great. After that, we're going to need a summoning circle for our summon corpse, which will help speed up the process and get from dungeon to dungeon faster. And then, of course, next up is our spec. Our spec is going to play an important role because there are certain dungeons you can't complete the way I'm going to show you without double jump. As far as my gear goes, I am wearing what I would consider to be the best PvE kit possible in the game. But realistically, at the start of a server wipe, you're not going to have access to what I'm wearing. So what I would really recommend is a set of Stygian Commander gear and some Berserker Fist Blades or Disease Spikes to get going. Stygian Commander is going to have your stamina and health, and it's also heavy, meaning these bosses aren't going to be hitting you hard at all. But you can get this done on what I'm doing, maybe add 10 minutes to it, and it's going to be about the same thing either way. But lastly, I do encourage you take your time, enjoy the content that Conan Exiles has to offer you because it is good. If you're in a rush, then follow these steps I'm going to show you, and I hope you enjoy. With dregs, you get a lot of utilization of the double jump perk, like I was just mentioning. You can see how I'm able to skip majority of this dungeon by just using double jump. Typically, it's going to require you to have bow and arrows to get through it. You would hit some targets with the bow and arrow, but if you have double jump, you don't really have to worry about that at all. You just double jump through most of the mechanics and you're able to make your way through. So Katana is my weapon of choice for this. If you have the option, I do like to use the Musashi blade. The heavy attacks do a lot of damage, and also it stacks a bleed, which is really nice on bosses. Gonna pull my bracelet here, summon my corpse back to my base, and get ready to head to Jabal. For Jabal, you're gonna need 5 Pharaoh flesh to get into the dungeon. You're gonna talk to this guy over here. He's gonna give you a potion of midnight for 5 Pharaoh flesh. You consume it, and then it takes you into Jabal. So for this dungeon, what you want to do is right when you enter the dungeon, you want to pull your bracelet twice, back to back. I would recommend having your pull bracelet to be assigned to a hotkey. Makes it a lot easier. So you enter it and then boom, boom, back to back. Pull your bracelet right after you spawn. And then you're going to take the right door and just keep heading straight, take a left, and you're at the last boss. When we finish off this guy, we're gonna hit him with our pickaxe, get the Flesh of Remembrance, and consume that to complete our journey step. Now we're heading to the Black Keep. I'm gonna slow it down here a little bit for you guys, just so you can see the pathing I take. It's pretty standard, nothing special, but just in case you're not too familiar with the dungeon, I'll show you the path that I like to go. Now me doing this, it's not really my goal to like speed run per se. I think if I was really try-harding it, I probably could have knocked off another 10 minutes or so and got it done quicker, but this just generally shows you, you can get it done within an hour or so. If you are doing the legendary chests and taking your time, maybe harvesting some of the stuff that you're killing, I mean, you can add maybe another 20-30 minutes onto it, but still not even trying to push time and doing all the extra stuff inside the dungeons. You would still get this done within an hour and a half to 2 hours. So it's just a matter of knowing the little tricks and stuff that I'm showing you to get done with it a lot quicker. Alright, Black Keep is done. Onto the volcano. If you were on a live server here, you could probably just run outside the dungeon and take the map room that would be down there that someone made to the volcano, but I'm playing on single player right now, so I don't have random map rooms up, so I just decided to go back to base. But if you do it that way, make sure you grab some ice before you head to Black Keep, so that way you have it ready for the volcano. You're going to need ice to get through this because it gets really hot. Right here is another example of why double jump is so important to get over that lava. I'm sure there's another way you can get through or even build your way across, but we're making our life easier here. Now for Skelos, we're just going to follow down this first pathway that you see, and then we're going to jump down on this ledge. And then there's a ledge that you would normally take if you're leaving the dungeon to get out of it. We're actually going to take that way that you would take out to go in and just skip to the last boss. So make sure you have your stand back, get as close as you can to the edge, and hit your double jump. Grab onto that edge and climb up, and we can make our way to the last boss. We're going to head over to Sunken City now, which is my personal favorite dungeon. I find it very aesthetically pleasing. I think it's pretty cool how it's basically like an underground world. You don't need any water breathing potions or anything like that. You can make it straight through and swim under to the place we need to go to. But for this one, again, we can just skip straight to the last boss. So you're going to swim over to the structure that you see me swimming to now. And we're just gonna head down there. Now we're heading to Silver Mine. This is probably one of those dungeons where if you're just starting off on a server where you want to take your time and just kind of like harvest as much as you can. Lots of stone, lots of iron, lots of coal, and silver, of course. For the sake of this video, I'm not doing any of that, and if I was already established on a server, I wouldn't bother anyhow. There's much easier ways to get stone and iron and silver now, especially with the new sorcery update. My next video is actually going to be showcasing a lot of the sorcery stuff and how you can do it the most efficient way. I've watched a few videos on how to do it since I've been back, and like the videos get the idea across, but I feel like they're just kind of not to the point, if that makes sense. So when I do mine, I'm just going to be like, hey, take this, take that, and you make it into this, just to make it as simple as possible. There's also a few little cheesy tricks that I know with it. Nothing that I would necessarily call an exploit, like no duping or anything like that. I've heard there's ways to dupe stuff, but I wouldn't showcase like how to do that specifically, but the things that I do show you will help it. So for War Maker, again, pretty standard. We're gonna take this first blue boss and run straight into the purple room. For some reason, the blue boss and the skeletons don't get along with the red boss here and these skeletons, so we're just gonna let them kind of fight it out, and we're gonna take care of Big Red here. And then after this, we're gonna kill all the other bosses inside the doors to pick up the key fragments so we can get our key to War Maker. Nice little tip if you are needing materials and stuff while doing this. These bosses that you kill for the key fragments, all of them give a good amount of demon blood, and it's a good little way just to get some easy demon blood while you're doing all this. Alright, so now that we have our fragments, we're going to drop them here on the pillars. We have our key now. And at this point, we can skip straight to the last boss. There is a skeleton boss on the left that would drop you the key to the arena, which would open the door right in front of us, but it isn't necessary. It's a good boss to kill if you need some world breakers or stuff like that. But we're just going to slip through this crack in the wall and run straight to the last boss. Now on to the Wine Cellar. Wine Cellar is a pretty cool dungeon. If you're gonna do this, it's really nice to have an I for it. I actually made a video not long ago about how to properly set up an I. The point of the I is it makes it so you can somewhat see in the dark. If you were doing this with no I files, then you're pretty much walking through here blindfolded. You'd probably need to bring a torch with you or something, but with being able to edit the files, we're able just to run through while basically being able to see. You'll see some torches that you're able to interact with, which you could turn on and give you some light to light the way, but it's not necessary with an I file. So we're gonna just skip all this, head on to the last boss. There are lots of fragments and Kari steel and all that good stuff that you can pick up in here that we're not worried about right now for the sake of the video. But this is another good dungeon if you want to spend a little more time in here gathering resources and stuff. And here we are at the big guy himself. I've heard a lot of people actually struggle with this boss, so I'm just going to play this in real time and kind of share how I do it. It's pretty straightforward. I just use my heavy attacks to do as much damage as possible, and then roll right before he hits me. Dungeon Delver complete in 58 minutes flat. Again, this was done not really with the intention of it being a speed run. Maybe that'll be a fun thing to do one day, an unedited speed run of everything. I think I can get it down to about 45 minutes if I really try, but Anyways, I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment, and please like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.